Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing.
In this bulletin, vaccinations welcomed by all. SADALPA probe continues. And restaurant standards questioned.
From the studios of FBC Suva.
The national COVID-19 vaccination program started yesterday, making a historic day in combating the pandemic and returning to normalcy. 10 frontline workers were the first to get the AstraZeneca jabs to ensure they are protected in continuous effort of keeping Fiji contained. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
It was a proud moment for these frontline workers to be the first to receive the Oxford vaccine.
We've started last week in advocating and also talking about the benefits that this vaccination will bring. It's not only to our health, but also to our very own airport here in Nadi. We'd like to see those planes fly again, and we'd like to see people coming in and out of the airport, and we'd like to get our lives back.
For Naira Mohammed, being part of the first 10 to get the jab was a privilege.
It feels nothing more than a normal, injection, and there is no sense of dizziness, or to be honest, even my arm is not painful as well. So it was just a little pinch like any other injection for me.
The 10 recipients had to be registered before getting vaccinated today.
We in the hotel industry, being the front line of receiving visitors and looking after them, I think this achievement today will give us a lot of hope.
It was also an emotional moment for the Minister for Health, who says the fight against COVID-19 is a personal one for many of us.
Yeah, it's an amazing day. Amazing in the sense that this is the beginning of the end. It's not the end, but the beginning of the end.
The Ministry of Health is registering frontline workers online in order to receive the vaccine. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Hygiene standards in some restaurants are under the spotlight with claims that they continue to breach the Food Safety Act. The Consumer Council recently surveyed 51 restaurants and found some are failing to maintain proper hygiene and safety standards. Pranita Prakash reports.
This is the condition of some of the kitchens surveyed: greasy, grimy and nowhere near standards.
There still remains a lot of restaurants to be graded. And there have been, there are some restaurants who fail to adhere to the rules and regulations of Food Safety Act 2003. Some of, what we have seen is that they fail to, make sure that the hygiene conditions are maintained in the restaurants and they're infested with pests.
We must also understand that we must abide the law so that we can keep people safe.
Others fail to employ good hygiene practices while storing and handling food in restaurants, and the consumer watchdog continues to receive complaints.
And we have also received complaints where people, come to us saying that they were sold bad food or stale food. And, the cost of a meal is not cheap. So they need to get the best. So the restaurant owners should make sure that whatever they are selling is up to the standard and of the quality.
Restaurants are bound by the Food Safety Act 2003. Anyone who fails to ensure that good hygiene practices are followed is liable to pay a fine of $2,000 or 12 months imprisonment, or both upon conviction. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Housing Authority believes contractors have to look at alternatives to conduct civil works for the projects due to continuous heavy rain. Chief Executive Robert Sen says the authority will soon begin work on some projects around the country. Sen says they are working with other service providers to merge development plans and incorporate related processes.
Water cabling and Energy Fiji cabling and all those things. So a lot of digging will be required and preparing the drains and all those things. So if there is a rain or the weather is not favorable and the ground conditions are wet, this work will not able to happen.
Business is expected to pick up at the Tavuni Hill Fort in Sigatoka, with a good number of overseas guests now visiting the site. Site attendant Naomi Taufa says they plan to diversify their reach to a wide variety of clients via social media to ensure business stays afloat in these trying times. She adds operations have been down for a year due to the pandemic. However, a group of American students visited the site earlier this week, signaling that tourism is slowly bouncing back.
It was also the first day we've been receiving again our a guest came all the way from America, and we are so fortunate that they come again to the place here at Tavuni Hill Fort.
More people with disabilities are capable of being part of the workforce and contributing to nation building. Spinal Injury Association Office Manager Mary Roden says there are challenges that prevent many from pursuing further studies, getting into the workforce, or taking part in social activities.
There's still a bit of a distancing in what we do with compared to the able, or that's what I see, and there's a need for coming together. I think that's lacking in some areas. When we come together, we will see that there's still some faces, the attitudinal barriers they still exist in some areas.
As the regulator, would like to encourage more higher education institutions to create these spaces for people with disabilities to access higher education, in supporting in particular young people.
Up ahead, Rugby World Cup postponed, and excitement surrounds first program of the year. Stay with us.
Oira na ngone no de nuni ena bisi ni mataka.
Mersusunga da kena loma dina kena mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitaro bina na bangsa ngai ka wala loma taki na ngone. Dala bina oya o meliki.
Bulre oya o Samuel Samuli.
Nama kiki rau ena be mataka.
Moniti kena makarombuka.
Ni wai tibi kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji One na ndomo ibiti.
Indaw kina na mataka. Dan ramay na singabo.
The Fiji Under-15s will make their Rugby World Cup debut next year and not later this year. This follows World Rugby's official announcement that the 2021 RWC schedule for this year has been postponed to 2022 in New Zealand. The decision to postpone this year's tournament was taken following extensive discussions with New Zealand Rugby, the New Zealand government and participating unions as a result of the continued impact and insurmountable uncertainties of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Sort of was expected. COVID-19 continues to change the environment globally, and with restrictions in terms of border control and other issues, in terms of entering to New Zealand. I think it was such was expected there.
Athletes and fans have been eagerly waiting for the Triple N Zone, which begins today at the ANZ Stadium. The first event will see athletes from the 17 schools in the Nasinu, Nausori and Naitasiri area battle in the 3,000-meter open grade run. Meet Director Alivereti Tawaki says this year will be quite different as compared to previous years.
We will run the 1,500 meters in the girls' event for all grades. In previous years, this used to be an open girls' event, but beginning this year, we'll run the 1,500 meters in the senior girls, beginning from the sub-junior girls, right up to the senior girls category.
Fiji Latter-day Saints Church College is looking to dominate in the girls' division at the Suva Zone 1 competition next weekend. The school finished with 23 medals last year, 14 in the girls division, 9 in the boys. LDS team manager Ernest Vitinavulangi says they hope to increase the number of medals this year.
Right now, one of our strengths is our girls. Our girls seems to be doing very well during the past 2 years. Our boys are getting there, and we're trying to build up with our boys competition.
The Suva Zone 1 meet will be held next week Wednesday at the ANZ Stadium in Suva, and you can watch all the action live on FBC Sports on the Walesi platform. Expect exciting action at the South Pacific Boxing Promotion as Fiji's top boxers will feature in the first event of the year. Light heavyweight champion Savenathan Naliva will be fighting Fiji cruiserweight champion Alifereti Kauyava in the main bout on March 20th. Adding to the hype is Fijian Broadcasting Corporation's decision to broadcast the fight live. Joseph Kwajo's sudden exit from the main bout is not a problem as promoters are bringing in light heavyweight champion Savenathan Naliva.
The main big one is Savenathan Naliva, who will be fighting Alifereti Kauyava. They are two big champions. As the public has witnessed earlier, Sorokamba village was empty when he fought Kwajo. So we can expect some big bumper crowd come March 20th.
FBC Marketing Manager Vijayan Kumar says this is a proud moment for the company, being given the opportunity to show the first boxing promotion event of the year.
So basically there's a chance of coming in, taking advantage of the 12 bouts that be live at the event and then delayed on FBC Sports.
12 bouts will be shown live on FBC Pop channel on the Walesi platform. Locals can pay 30 Fijian dollars and international viewers can pay $20 to view this competition. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports. Japan is not inviting fans from abroad to this summer's Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics due to the COVID-19 concerns, according to Kyodo News Agency. Whether or not foreign fans will be banned remains under discussions. A weak trough of low pressure lies to the north of Fiji and is expected to drift south and affect the northern parts of the country from tomorrow. Forecast for today is for partly cloudy conditions with a few light showers over the eastern and interior of larger islands. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर।